guys, it's Tired Andy on your screen again, and this is types of teachers I've had. Disclaimer, I have so much respect for teachers. I'm not trying to roast the profession, but there are teachers who just don't really care about their jobs and who don't care about what they teach children and teenagers. With the influence that they have on these people's minds, they don't try to do a lot of good with it, and that's where I lose respect for them. So if you see some types here which are not exactly good, it's because I've had these types of teachers. So yeah, hope you enjoy. First up is the chill teacher. Yes, they have a lot of chill. They tend to joke around the classroom a lot. They could be your buddy, like a friend or something like that, if you aren't an anxious piece of little shit like me, because I can't befriend teachers. I also can't befriend adults in general. That's another problem, but continuing. They take their jobs very seriously. Like, they joke around, but they're trying to teach you, and the jokes are generally tied to what they're teaching you, so that they can at least like get it in your brain in a fun way. That's why they joke around a lot. They are the type of teacher to like organize those little end of the school year lunches and snack parties and all of that, and it's fun all around. They are a really fun person to have as a teacher, so that's good. They love their jobs like very much, because they're generally happy doing their jobs, unless their class is like full of demon people and they just don't have so much patience to deal with it. So, but that's a rare thing. Speaking of patience, they have the patience of a saint. So if you piss them off, it's because you've done something really bad and you deserve to get all the wrath that they can throw at you. Type number 2, the strictly business teacher. And this one, as you can guess, is the exact opposite of the chill teacher. Business and pleasure do not mix. Depending on who you are and what type of teacher vibes with you, their lectures get pretty freaking boring. Like, boring to the extent that they make you fall asleep in the middle of class. And they get mad at you for it, but I mean, maybe it is a little bit your fault, but also the way they give class, or just their voices, they just make everyone want to fall asleep. So there's at least 1 or 2 people in their class with their heads down in the desk and just like snoring, because that's just how it is. They put up with no nonsense whatsoever. No fun in their classroom. If you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing in the classroom, you're done. You're go to the principal's office, because you're done. And even if you breathe funny, you get kicked out of class. Just how things are. They tend to be merciless when it comes to grades. Don't even try to beg them for extra points. They won't do anything. And they are the type of teacher who, when you say, "Oh, but you gave me that grade," they will go, "No, you got that grade, so it's your fault." They won't say exactly it's your fault, but they do say you got that grade and not they gave you that grade, which it's kind of right, but still. Type number 3. The sleep machine teacher. It's a little bit like the strictly business teacher, but this one is like levels above that. Like levels. Because it doesn't matter what they do, how they say it, what subject they're teaching, people will be sleeping. There will be people sleeping. Mostly me. because generally it has to do with their voice, like I said before. But if it's just boring out of my mind and out of your mind and out of their students' minds, because it's just, it has no, like, it feels like the teacher is just like reading with the most monotone voice whatsoever, and they don't have any intonation to their voices whatsoever, and it's everything like, it's this, you know? Everything is just, and it's annoying. It's annoying and it's lifeless, and it makes the classroom 10 times worse, because you're already there to learn things that you don't care about. So then you're there to study things that you don't care about, but the teacher is being non-interesting whatsoever. So that's the thing. So you get the sense that time literally stops when you're in the classroom of the sleep machine teacher, because nothing happens, nothing's interesting, nothing's going on, so it's just, time could stop and it wouldn't make a fucking difference. And to not really care about what their students are doing, and that worked out great for me when I had these types of teachers, because I could just write and draw and do whatever in their class and they wouldn't care. Type number 4, the divine teacher. This is my favorite type, because they actually care about what they're teaching, and they actually care about shaping young people's minds, and they actually love their jobs, and it shows it. They might be a little bit strict, but they're also joke. They also joke, and they're a combination of like the strictly business teacher and the chill teacher. You know, it's a mixture of both, and it's a grand thing. They just know how to do their jobs well, and that means they have my utmost respect. Like they're trying, you know, and they will like talk to their students to actually see what's going on, and it's just, this person is an angel. They are some of the most caring of teachers that I've met, and it's also some of the people that I actually miss from my old school. So I miss more teachers than I do students, because a lot of my teachers in my old school were the divine teacher type. So that's perfect, isn't it? They just always try to give their students opportunities to get better, and they just deserve everything. These types of teachers deserve everything. They don't deserve to put up with the shit that students make them go through, because let's be honest, a lot of students are little shits, and they don't deserve to deal with all of that. So I feel for them. I really do. The last type, which doesn't have my respect at all, so type number 5, is how are they a teacher type? As you can tell by the title, I don't understand how these people got the job. I mean, I do to a certain extent, because schools need teachers, and you won't always find the divine type of teacher, or the chill type of teacher, or the strictly business type of teacher, or even the sleep machine type of teacher. But these types of teachers, they just don't care, and it feels like they resent their job of being a teacher, as if they couldn't get anything better, so they had to settle for being a teacher. And that shows, because they're bitter. They're bitter in their job, and they're bitter in dealing with students, and they're bitter about everything. And they bitch in class like a lot. So they spend some 50 minutes talking about something else that doesn't even have to do with the subject that you have to study. And yeah, it's annoying, because like, I'm not the biggest fan of studying. I really am not. Don't like it, but I know that it's important. And if your teacher spends more than half of the class talking about something that is not the subject you're supposed to be studying, that annoys me, like very much so. But like some part of my brain is like, okay, this is good because you don't have to study, you don't have to do things, you can use this time to like draw and write and whatever. But then the other part of me is like, bitch, I'm supposed to be learning. And that's why I don't have any respect for this teacher. They might be bad at teaching, they also might not be, but either one of those two things happen. Like, A, they try to push their own ideologies onto their students way too much, and it's like ideologies that don't make a lot of sense. And sometimes it's like ideologies that are like harmful to other people, like bi people are confused. That's a real example I can give you. Yes. And B, they just don't care about teaching students in a way that they can learn from them. So like if someone is struggling with understanding a text, all the teacher does is like tell them to read again, and they don't give any other options. It's just read again until you get it. Sometimes that's not an option, but what can I say? And because of all of this, usually most of their students don't like them, and they wonder why. So I may have gotten a little bit passionate about this. I mean, I've had so many teachers because I went to, I think, 4 different schools. This is my 4th. And I've had a lot of different teachers, but obviously I can't remember all of them, so I might be missing a type or two. I'm just laughing about how passionate I was about the subject. It's like, I really do care about teachers, and I think they're very underrated. I think teachers are very underrated, and they deserve a lot more respect, a lot more better treatment. But some teachers, they're just like I said, how are they a teacher type, and it annoys me because like there are so many people out there trying their best to teach young minds and to be a good influence in those young minds, and then there are teachers like the last type that I mentioned, and it's just, oh my god, why are you here? Oh, I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to spread love. I'll see you in the next one.